Intuition. Today, we're going to do a read about what is the next magical occurrence to take place in the life of the collective. Okay, that will be the theme. Next magical occurrence. When's some magic going to happen for the collective? All right, let's just dive right in. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the next magical occurrence to take place for the collective? What's the next magical occurrence to take place for the collective? And I guess from a more logical, perspective, it's probably, for the people that don't believe in magic, don't believe that magic exists. For one, I feel sorry for you. No, I'm just kidding. But it's pretty much like what will feel like magic. Like this is such a, crazy occurrence, or it may not even be something super huge. It could be like some little thing that's like, wow, this is like a little magic moment. Something to kind of remind you of like, okay, magic exists in the world. Like the impossible can become possible. Please and thank you, Spirit. So 2 popped out. Let's see what those 2 are. Oh, how interesting. Actually, I'm going to keep going. See if anything else comes out first. Okay, that definitely feels significant. Please and thank you. Anything else, Spirit? Please and thank you. Okay. There we are. So, the cards that came out, we have the 4 of Pentacles coming out like that. And then we have the 3 of Swords coming out like that. And then we have the Hierophant. And bottom of the deck is Death. Okay. Let's start clarifying that 4 of Pentacles. Yes, please and thank you, Spirit. What is this next magical occurrence that is taking place for the collective? Please and thank you. With this 4 of Pentacles. Can you clarify that 4 of Pentacles for us? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything else for that 4 of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. Oh, how interesting. Let me just take a sip. So what came out to clarify that 4 of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse, 6 of Wands upright, 8 of Cups. Oh, and bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands. This is such an interesting energy. This is such an interesting energy. So that 4 of Pentacles, the way that it came out like that. And, ooh, I think I see now. So the 4 of Pentacles is typically a card about holding on to things that are, long overdue to get rid of or release. And sometimes it can be kind of unhealthy, especially when it comes to like being very closed off. But the way that it came out makes me feel like for some reason being in that 4 of Pentacles energy is serving you during this time. And I'm wondering if it's specifically the part about being closed off. But, the part of the being closed off that can be a good thing is, protecting your own energy. Especially from like energy vampires, people that do not have good intentions for you. It could also be indicating too that if you do have things in your life that you are holding on to, it's probably because you value them. Because usually when I see cards coming out in that direction, I feel like that's usually a good thing. That's usually a good sign. Like, this is something that's helping you go forward. This is helping you go on to the next step of your journey. The Eight of Swords being in the reverse is very interesting because upright, it is a card of just being stuck in your head, feeling trapped. But this is a situation that you can free yourself if you choose to. It just takes determination and thinking outside the box, maybe, or using your intuition specifically. But in the reverse, somebody is freeing themselves from their mental prison. It's interesting that I'm talking about the Four of Pentacles, which we're clarifying, and that being a card of being closed off to an extent. And then the Eight of Swords upright would indicate like a mental prison, like I just said. But in the reverse, I wonder if this is somebody leaving that stuck state of mind. And I wonder if you're freeing yourself not only from maybe mental prisons, but maybe you're starting to open up again if you have been closed off for some time. Interesting. Also, I feel like the Eight of Swords upright is typically like lacking perspective. And in the reverse, I feel like there's a different perspective that is shifting. Like you're seeing something from a completely different point of view. Or somebody, if this isn't your energy, this could be somebody that is in your energy. And they are freeing themselves. They are seeing things from a different perspective that they didn't see before. And then the Six of Wands following that. This is a card of success and being seen as being successful, being celebrated for this success. And this is typically success that's associated with your skills, your specific talent, skills, and abilities. And being successful with that. People could be acknowledging your success in something, or there could be positive talk around how you're really doing a really good job at something. People could even see your progress. That's an interesting point of view too, where it's like maybe people are used to seeing you in that Four of Pentacles energy or that Eight of Swords upright energy of being kind of like closed off, resistant to change maybe, resistant to other types of perspectives. But the Six of Wands would indicate this going forward energy, but very positive forward energy and focus. Probably you're looking towards the future. I mean, if this is talking about you, all of these cards that we're seeing here, then I think you're going to have some sort of taste of success here, which is maybe encouraging you to see things from a different perspective, or it will cause that naturally, a shift in perspective. Because it could even be something like you've been working at something for some time now, but not seeing the results you would like to see in it, and then suddenly there's success. You have some sort of breakthrough. And it's like not only a breakthrough that you can notice, it's a breakthrough that other people notice about you in your life as well. I also feel like there's something about you that's standing out. So maybe you're doing something that will naturally kind of put you in the spotlight, or maybe the success has something to do with being in the public eye, or just maybe your community in some way. There's a lot of optimism with the Six of Wands too that I feel like is interesting. And then after that Six of Wands is the Eight of Cups, which is also a forward thinking, future-focused energy, because the Eight of Cups is really about leaving things behind that don't serve you. So honestly, this could be like a really good change for you. You're shifting out of something here. With that Four of Pentacles that we're clarifying, if you were holding on to anything that was like long overdue to release, or, you know, kind of past its expiration date, the Eight of Cups would definitely indicate it would definitely indicate that you are leaving what doesn't serve you behind. So it's like you're changing in some significant ways here. And I feel like other people are noticing this about you. You also may be able to release things much easier than you were releasing things in the past. Maybe you had a real tough time releasing certain things, or maybe people, situations. But it's like now you're more confident about... I almost even wonder too if this is like on reflection. You know, maybe you come into some sort of success here, and upon reflection, you're looking back at the things you left behind, and maybe at one point you questioned, was it the right thing to do? But now you're seeing that yes, there is, or there was a purpose behind leaving these things behind, and I can see it with whatever it is that you're experiencing success with. It's almost like it makes this part of your backstory make more sense. It's like, oh, so that's why I had to leave behind so-and-so, or that environment, or that situation, so that I would have the space for this success, or so that I was free to go towards this thing that is granting me some sort of success here. And the way that the Eight of Cups is forward focused and future focused, that sort of energy, is because the person on the Eight of Cups is leaving those behind and then going forward to try and find what really is fulfilling to them. I feel like a lot of forward motion from your energy, and it's a beautiful thing. I feel like this is a really positive message, and I almost feel like Spirit is very proud of you for making difficult decisions, for moving out of your comfort zone, thinking outside the box, trying to see things from a different perspective, not staying stuck, not staying stagnant. Very much like doing, it feels like you're doing multiple things. You're doing pretty much anything you can in order to ensure your own success. And I feel like this is all positive, this is all good, and Spirit's probably very proud of you. Because I feel like Spirit has been watching you make these difficult decisions, put in that hard work. It's interesting too how like we have all four suits here. We have that Four of Pentacles, which we're clarifying, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, Six of Wands upright, Eight of Cups upright. So it's like, I think it's multiple areas of your life that you've been working on, working through certain things maybe. So not only is it your mindsets, it's also about like your physical space, your physical abundance, your physical security. The wands, you know, that's that passion, there's that drive, that eagerness, getting all fired up about something. And then the Eight of Cups, that's the emotional part of it, you know, releasing those exes, releasing, you know, maybe even mindsets around relationships that don't serve you. You know, releasing those environments that, you know, do not fulfill you. It feels very good. Like, it feels like this is important work that you've been doing, and I feel like there's going to be a payoff for you, and it's not going to make you question. It feels like a reward of some kind for all your hard work, and it's going to be like a piece of evidence that makes it like, oh, so that's why I had to do things in the way that I did them. You know, this is why maybe it took a little bit longer. This is why I had to leave behind so-and-so, and keep going forward. I feel like there's definitely this feeling of just like, keep going. Even if I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, keep going. Trust that the next stepping stone will appear when I need it, you know? It's like you may not have had a clear idea of where you're going, what you're doing, but it's like it's becoming clearer because of a success that will help you understand why things in the past had to happen the way that they did, or why you had to act the way that you did. I want to say be proud of yourself because this feels significant. Be proud of yourself for doing that difficult work, because not everybody is willing to, not everybody can do that kind of work. Not everybody's in a place to be doing that type of work, but here you are doing it. And you're doing a really good job at it. With that Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, you're looking towards the future with so much more optimism now. And I feel like this could definitely be as a result of experiencing some sort of success here. You have a taste of success, and therefore you're like, yeah, let's keep this going, baby. This is where I'm at. Like, this is where my energy was supposed to be invested. You know, it's like you realize that something's paying off, and so all of your hard work does not go unnoticed, does not go unrecognized, does not go unrewarded. And so now you're looking towards the future, like, let's keep this like winning streak going, baby, you know? It feels very optimistic, it feels exciting. There could also be a revivement of an excitement for life that maybe you have been lacking, or maybe it felt like that was missing from your life for a period of time. Because you've been doing a lot of hard work, so you could have even felt slightly removed from that optimism or excitement, lust for life kind of energy. And now that's coming back into your life, and it's reviving you to an extent, which is probably very necessary if you've been working your butt off in multiple areas of your life. Probably good to have that sense of like revival of that energy. I want to see what's underneath that Page of Wands. Queen of Wands. So you see your own success as well. I feel like if you take the time to really like notice or take note of all of the ways in which you've changed, grown, evolved, I feel like you're going to see that you have improved a lot. You see your own growth. So like, not only do other people see it, but you see it in yourself as well, especially if you take the time to really reflect on that. I feel like you've come a long way. And maybe at times you don't always feel that way, but I feel like it's almost like clearly evident to you and others around you. Yeah, I feel like you could even be an inspiration for people that are just starting out on this path of like maybe self-improvement. Or if this is your spiritual journey, you're inspiring people to go on a spiritual journey. Whatever this is, this path that you're on, you've been doing a lot of work and it's paying off, and I feel like other people, they definitely want to know like how you did this, what's your secret, but also they're like, okay, maybe I can do that. So people that may have thought that they could never do that kind of hard work behind the scenes, that like, you know, working on every area of your life to improve yourself, improve your circumstances. It's like the people that may have seen that sort of work as being useless or not important, or, you know, not helpful. It's like you show them why it's necessary, why it's helpful, why it's important. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna be glowing and people are gonna be looking up to you. And I feel like saying you deserve that admiration because you really have come a long way. And if you choose to look back on your past and observe like how you have grown, changed, and all that, you will see that growth for yourself. And I think it's going to feel impactful, I think. Yeah, because like where you are now is not where you used to be. And that's something to celebrate. Even if you're not like at the end goal, or where, you know, your full manifestation, your full manifested reality yet, you're on your way, and you're probably closer than you realize, because your mind, your energy, It's all in the right place. Yeah, that's really nice. Let's go on to the Three of Swords to clarify that. Please, and thank you, Spirit. What is this Three of Swords talking about here? Can you clarify that Three of Swords as to what next magical occurrence is happening for the collective? Please, and thank you, Spirit. Three of Swords, thank you. Anything else for that Three of Swords? Three of Swords. Please, and thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Significant. Okay, maybe one more shuffle. Maybe one more. Okay. Oh, there was one flipped over. Oh, okay. I'm already seeing a lot of synchronicities in this reading, so this is going to be very impactful. I think this is going to be one of those really good readings. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so what clarified that Three of Swords? We have the Page of Wands upright. The Death card came out like this. Five of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Eight of Wands came out like that. Four of Pentacles. Six of Cups. And the Hierophant. So, double confirmation for Hierophant. Double confirmation for the Death card. And we just clarified the Four of Pentacles, and here it is again. So, yeah. And not to mention, we just looked at the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and it popped out as the first one to clarify this Three of Swords. So, a lot of confirmations. Oh, and I think I forgot to show you the bottom of this deck. Chariot. Forward progress for sure. Significant forward progress, I should emphasize, because the Chariot is a major arcana. So get ready for some substantial forward movement in an area of your life. The way that the Three of Swords came out like this, it could be indicating that like a heartbreak may have been lingering, the energy of that may have been weighing on you to some extent, but I'm getting a good energy from the way that it came out. Because typically I see cards that come out this way as like something that's holding you back, but because the Three of Swords upright is typically that card of like heartbreak, that card of just being kind of attached to your own pain, being very wrapped up in that. I think when it comes out like this, that kind of tells me that you're putting that to rest. That you're leaving whatever heartbreak took place in the past, you're leaving that in the past. And then that Page of Wands, it's like you're looking forward to a more optimistic future. I don't feel like this is just in terms of dating, romance. I think you're seeing your future much more optimistically for multiple reasons and in multiple areas of your life. And so naturally, I think love is one of them. Because I think you're looking towards the future being like, you know, the world is my oyster. The possibilities are truly endless. And then that Death card coming out like this, I actually really like that a lot, because it's like you've been leaning into transformation. Death card is very significant transformation. And that could also be going back to that message I was getting about the Three of Swords, laying that to rest, leaving that in the past. The Death card also deals with endings. So I wonder if you're like ending the, you know how heartbreak and other things like that can kind of linger for a while? I feel like you're trying your best to end that lingering of old connections. You may even be trying to cut off all of your past connections, like exes. Maybe if you're friends with your exes on social media, you're blocking them because you don't want them to maybe send you the evil eye or try to sabotage what you have going on. It feels like you're very much wiping the slate clean here and going forward with the idea of transforming, with the idea of a big shift in mind. And it really does indicate to me that you are seeing your future as being completely different than what took place in your past. And I feel like that's a very positive mindset to have. And I feel like that's actively helping you on your path here. And this I actually really like a lot, especially the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles like that, because you were once in this Five of Pentacles state, but now you're quickly becoming the Eight of Pentacles. And so the Five of Pentacles is like that feeling of lack, and pretty significant feeling of lack at that. Definitely seeing things more pessimistically, feeling like, you just can't win. The world keeps kind of beating you down, and it's just like, when am I going to catch a break? But here you are working on something here, working at some sort of craft or career or something here. And it's not just that you are working at it, you're becoming a master at it. You're mastering something here. And it's almost like, even when you felt like you had nothing with that Five of Pentacles, it's like you still took those Five of Pentacles and you were like, I can build from this. So I feel like you're very resourceful. And this is what's adding to your success, or it is why you're experiencing success. Because you are taking, even when you feel like you have nothing, it's like somehow you're using that as a stepping stone to advance. And you are not limiting yourself. You're thinking outside the box. Okay, how can I use the things that I do have in my life? Taking inventory of the things you do have, and how can I build off of that? You definitely are thinking outside the box, and it's serving you. And you're being that resourceful type of person. Because, even when we feel like we have nothing, we still have something. We still have a heartbeat. We still have a breath or air in our lungs. We still have a brain. We still have our ability to see, hear, experience the world. We never truly have nothing. Even the people in the world who are like the most disadvantaged and experience the most drastic losses and stuff, they still find reason to get up every day. They still have something to look forward to feel good about, to build from. And I feel like that is your perspective as well, and it's serving you. That is very much serving you. And it's funny too that Eight of Pentacles was followed by the Seven of Cups, because I feel like the sense of you building something here, and then whatever you're building, not only are you becoming a master at it and people are seeing you mastering something here, but the Seven of Cups can very much be a well, actually there is a little bit of daydreaminess about the Seven of Cups, which I wasn't picking up on at first, but now I'm getting a little bit of that. So there could be something around you dreaming of a future for yourself. This path that you're taking, you can see how this can expand. You're seeing how this can serve you, especially the more you invest into it, paying off. But also the Seven of Cups is a card of many opportunities, many doors being open to you, many options here. And so I feel like through you practicing your craft, or whatever it is that you've been focusing on and building, it's opening so many doors for you that I almost feel like you could even become overwhelmed with the amount of doors that it's opening up for you, the amount of opportunities that are suddenly becoming available to you. You may even be slightly overwhelmed and slightly like, that sense of being overwhelmed and maybe a little bit confused, because there are just so many options. There's just, so many opportunities. But you very much deserve each and every one of them. And I feel like that would probably just call on you to kind of listen more so to your intuition, as to like which path is right for you, which door do you take, which opportunity is the best fit for you, especially on your path and with that vision in mind that you have for your own future. What aligns with that? I really like that the Eight of Wands came out like this, because Eight of Wands upright, that is a card of forward progress, but also communication. I feel like there's some sort of communication coming in here that will be quite significant. But then again, it could also be like those opportunities, maybe slightly overwhelming you to an extent. Maybe each of these wands is somebody asking you to collaborate, is somebody asking you to partner with them in their business. Like, you know, it could be that all of a sudden your inbox becomes flooded, absolutely flooded with people like asking about collaborations, asking about business opportunities, maybe even dating. You know, people are like, hey, you single? Like, I feel like your inbox is going to become flooded. You're going to have so many opportunities that you may not know exactly which to pick or which is the right path, but with time and intuition, I think you're gonna know like what's right and what's calling your name, so to speak. And then that's followed by the Four of Pentacles. And so I kind of like this energy because to me it's kind of touching me as like, or hitting me at more so as like, and it's not that you're not open, I don't want to say, but you may find it difficult to transition into this new future because I feel like it's going to be drastically different than what you've been used to in your past. And so I think you may want to initially, you may kind of go into your shell, so to speak. I was about to go like this to kind of indicate that, but it may be a little bit overwhelming and you may at first be like, okay, what's the catch though? Or, you know, is it safe to open up to these opportunities? Are these opportunities everything that they say they are? A little bit of skepticism, I would say, and a little bit of resistance, I would say, to going all in all at once, but maybe that's the smart thing to do. Maybe it's good to kind of give yourself some time to fully consider, you know, especially if you have multiple options. You don't want to rush into something very significant or, you know, very important, such as like a relationship, a business partnership, you know. So it may take some time for you to kind of maybe gather all the facts or what's it called? Kind of like checking to make sure these aren't scams or something, or, you know, that these are genuine requests or opportunities and stuff like that. I feel like you may just be a little bit like at first kind of, I do get the sense of being cold, but not cold in the way of like, I'll never open up, but more so just like that hesitance of like, can I trust this? Is this actually real? Because I'm almost getting this sense of like, you could have experienced in your past, you know, things being too good to be true. Or maybe certain business opportunities got you burned in the past, and now you're like more hesitant to accept these things now. There's also a sense of comfort that you've grown within your life. And I almost feel like there's some sense of consistency that you're used to within your life. And this can even be, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but like, you know, if you grew up in poverty and you lived most of your life in poverty, an opportunity comes along that could really be great, like a truly great opportunity where you can expand your abundance, create abundance for yourself, become more wealthy. That could be kind of triggering for you because it's like, I have only ever lived in poverty. I don't know how to have money. I don't know how to, you know, act like somebody that has money because I've never had money before. I've never had that type of stable foundation underneath me. Because maybe it feels like you just have this skepticism and resistance at first. But I feel like this is something that you're going to overcome. Because it is the Four of Pentacles. It's not like it's a major arcana for this blockage here. I think it's very much just like, I think it'll just take some adjustment and maybe a little bit of like convincing your brain to like You know, this may be out of our comfort zone, but maybe that's a good thing. Because the thing is about moving out of your comfort zone is that's where the true growth happens. That's when you truly start to expand yourself in your life. Also, I'm noticing in the background of this, it almost looks like a city in the background. So maybe there's something about even moving out of like a place that you were born and raised, like hometown maybe or something, or relocating to like a city or more urban area, and maybe that's scary to you. But also it kind of just feels like the world is truly opening up to you. So even if you wanted to move to a city, all of a sudden that becomes available to you. Yeah, this could even be because, like, especially in poverty, like somebody that lives in poverty their whole life, they're not going to get many opportunities to travel, to go to new places, to see the world. But I feel like this suddenly will become available to you. And at first it may be scary, but the more you warm up to it, you're like, actually, that might be kind of fun. That might be something that I've never done before, but maybe I've always wanted to. Or, you know, maybe I've never really considered that because it wasn't financially possible for me to do so in the past. But now, maybe it is possible for me to travel. Maybe it is possible for me to see the world and see things that I want to or have dreamed about seeing for a long time. And then we have that Six of Cups in the Hierophant, following that Four of Pentacles there. There is somebody in your life, or maybe the person that could be like offering you some sort of opportunity here. And maybe this is just you going to somebody for advice, especially with that Hierophant, maybe somebody that's older than you, more experienced than you, going to somebody that you trust and talking to them about like, okay, so I have an inbox that's full of these messages about business opportunities, that's full of like, you know, all these types of opportunities in different areas of my life. What do I do though? Should I trust this? Should I go with this? Like maybe you're going to like a very trusted person in your life. And it feels like with that Six of Cups, this person is going to reassure you emotionally, I feel like you've worked very hard. You deserve this. They may even share some of their experiences. Like, I used to be just like you. I used to be in this place too, but you can overcome this fear and you deserve a brighter future. You deserve a future that expands your life, expands who you are. Like there's something here about kind of being convinced by someone, but this isn't just someone, this is somebody that you will trust. So whether it's this person that's offering you these opportunities or somebody more trusted, like wise kind of figure, definitely could be somebody older than you, but not necessarily. It could just be somebody that you see as more mature or more experienced than you. Especially when it comes to like maybe these areas of life that these opportunities are happening in. But I feel like your perspective starts to shift and you stop seeing it as a scary thing and you start to see it as like something that could emotionally fulfill you, something that could actually be quite lovely. Also, maybe some sort of reassurance that you're safe here. That could be also helpful, you know, because sometimes when we are, you know, faced with opportunities that are outside of our comfort zone, there can be a lot of fear attached to that. They can very much trigger our anxieties, our insecurities. Yeah, especially if it's something that we're not used to, something that we've never really experienced before. But I feel like it starts to warm up to you. You start to like kind of feel better about it. And maybe it's through maybe even watching somebody who has maybe done this path, you know, somebody that has sort of lived a version of your story. They can reassure you maybe that, you know, this is a great opportunity, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity. Could even be like a friend that you've had since childhood, not necessarily, that kind of helps kind of comfort you or helps you feel more reassured. Yeah, there's something about feeling safe, knowing that you're safe, knowing that you're protected, and that this is an opportunity. This is not a bad thing, you know? This is something positive. This is not a bad, negative situation. This is a positive situation. And I feel like your mindset, your emotional feelings around it start to shift into a more positive energy. So something that you were once closed off to, you start to open up to. The Hierophant, this could be a couple of different things. So for one, if you're asking for advice from a trusted person that is wise, more than likely spiritual in some sense, somebody that has lived, they could kind of reassure you that this is part of your path here, your aligned path towards becoming your highest self. And there's also like an initiation part of the Hierophant, so I almost feel like this person could reassure you that this is the doorway that is important for you to expand on what you're working on. Like it's the next logical step in your journey. And then the Hierophant, on the other hand, could definitely be like maybe the opportunity here is for you to teach, or for you to be given some sort of platform where you can speak about your journey, your transformation, your spiritual growth, or something that's attached to spirituality. Maybe your spirituality helped you get to this point on your journey. It gave you the strength to keep going. It gave you the optimism, the excitement for the future. It gave you hope. And I feel like it could very well be that you're going to be in this position of power, but it's so that you can tell your story. And this is like a very important story that other people want to hear. Because I feel like just like you were able to give yourself hope, I feel like you're going to give other people hope as well. And I love that I'm picking up on this storyline because the Chariot goes perfectly with it. So the Chariot can sometimes be this card of like you, I've heard like this story behind it of like, this is somebody that's, you know, because in the background there's like a community and there's like a wall behind him. So it's like, this is somebody that is leaving like their hometown, or like the place that they are so used to, their comfort zone, and they're going forward. They may not know exactly where they're going. They may not exactly know what lies beyond that wall that was keeping them held in there for so long. They just know that this is meant for them, that they are meant to move out of their comfort zone, that they are meant to move out of their hometown or the environment that they're so accustomed to. And it's like, I trust spirit to guide me. I trust my intuition to guide me. And I trust that this path that's opening up to me is here for a purpose. And it is part of my path. It's part of my journey. It's like the next logical step in my journey towards expansion, towards building the future that I've been daydreaming about for so long. I just feel like there's so much excitement here. I love it. It's just like this feeling of like, wow, like the world truly is opening up to me now. And maybe it never did before. And so you're just like, wow, this is different, but it's exciting, you know? And I feel like the more you kind of meditate on it, you're going to realize that this is truly meant for you. And it's coming as a result of all your hard work that you've been investing into yourself and into your life. And into your craft, probably specifically. Because that Eight of Pentacles was very significant to me. I want to see what's underneath the Chariot. Ten of Wands. It took a lot of hard work to get to this place. But also there's another message with the Ten of Wands where it's like, you've been carrying this heaviness long enough. It is now time to put that down. It is time to release that burden. And so I feel like, I don't know why, but I keep being drawn back to the example of poverty, where it's like, maybe your life has been difficult since the beginning, you know? And, you know, poverty is something that is so difficult to live in because there's just like limitations, a sense of lack. You know, things are more difficult when you don't have the funds to do things. And so I feel like you are about to release that burden, whatever it was, or maybe multiple burdens if it's something that was affecting you in multiple areas of life. But yeah, it's like it's now time for you to release that and feel more free, feel more limitless, you know? Truly, the world is opening up to you. This is such a beautiful energy. I love this so much. This is gorgeous. Very positive reading. I like it so much. I wasn't sure what to expect from this reading, but I'm really liking this message. I feel like this whole message so far is Spirit like telling you to keep going, and your hard work is paying off. And I feel like it's going to happen in such a way that it will feel very magical. It will feel like, wow, like maybe it will even feel like Spirit made these things happen. But I think more than that, you made these things happen. So be sure to thank yourself. Be grateful that you are who you are. Because like this is all because you're you and you're doing what you're meant to do. Like I don't know how to emphasize it because I don't even feel like I'm doing it justice the way I'm articulating it, but like be proud of yourself because this is huge. Not everybody gets to experience life this way. And yeah, like I said, the world is truly opening up to you. Ooh. Beautiful energy. Let's go on to the Hierophant now. Please and thank you, Spirit. Hierophant energy, please and thank you. What is this next magical moment with the Hierophant? Please and thank you. Next magical occurrence. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okie dokie. Okay, so what we have for that Hierophant, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Two of Wands came out in the reverse, very interesting. And then we have the Star card, Knight of Wands, Ten of Cups, Temperance. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords. This is a lot of lovely energy right here. Oh my goodness. So I think you're meant for greatness. I think you truly are. And it's something to do with who you are as a person. You are special. Something about you stands out. You have a wisdom that is beyond most people. Like, I feel like you have an understanding of, it feels like divine wisdom. It's like this type of wisdom that is rare to come across. And it's like, you know things that most people don't know. You know things that not everybody can understand or comprehend, or I don't know. There's something that's just so specific about you. Like you and your knowledge, you and your wisdom is very important. And it's being highlighted here. This Queen of Pentacles energy, you're showing up in this kind, open, grounded energy, very calm, peaceful, patient, giving towards others. You like to share what you have with others. I feel like that's probably a big reason why you're being blessed, is because you're the type of person that, you know, if you start to accumulate wealth, you're not the type to like hoard wealth, you know? You would be giving back to communities. You would be giving back to charities. You would do things to help improve the world, not just improve yourself and your circumstances. There's like a lack of selfishness. There's a more of like a selflessness to you. And I feel like that's why you're coming into these blessings. The Two of Wands in the reverse, I found that very interesting because to me, that is hitting me as like, this is something that's going to happen that you do not see coming. This is something that maybe you didn't plan for. So maybe it's a specific opportunity that maybe you planned for other types of opportunities. Like, it almost even feels like this is like an unexpected opportunity. Like maybe you had no idea that what you do as a craft, what you do for work, whatever you've been practicing, working on, you thought maybe that it would lead to certain things, And so you're like, okay, that probably would make sense that it would lead to this thing and this thing. But then it's like suddenly this other door opens up and you're just like, wait, how did this thing that I'm doing over here lead to that? Because that seems way different than what I'm doing over here, or that seems almost unrelated. You know, it could be completely two different spheres of life that something is happening here, because it's like the plans that you were making for your future, this almost goes against that, but it's positive. It's a nice surprise, and it has something to do with who you are and what you do. But it may be something that you kind of don't expect to happen. Maybe it's the type of person that reaches out to you. Maybe it's, you know, maybe a specific company or business that wants to do business with you that you're like, okay, but I'm not really, like, you could feel like it's a mismatch almost. Like, are you sure you want me? You think I'm the person for the job? Like, because that doesn't really seem like it aligns with what I do. But somehow it works. And it feels like, honestly, perfect alignment and part of your destiny, especially because we got that star card. So you are doing great things. Keep doing whatever the hell you're doing, because you're healing not only yourself, but the collective. You're doing big things. You're also being directed by spirit to do these things. And it's just like unmistakable that you are special, that you are standing out, that there is something very special about who you are and what you're doing. And then it's so interesting too that these two came out together. And so the star card is like, here, you're kind of doing your own thing. Maybe you don't even realize how much you're glowing, how much you're standing out, how special your energy is. And then this Knight of Wands is coming in towards you. And it feels like there's maybe even a creative opportunity here to create something with another person, or with a business or organization or something here. Because it's like somebody gets excited seeing what you're doing here, and then they get motivated to come towards you to share a message with you about expanding something. It could even be something about how you're very passionate, and so therefore this person sees like that, how am I trying to say that? Like, you could be very passion driven in what you do, you're very passionate about. And this Knight of Wands character that's coming in with some sort of message for you in terms of expansion, creativity, those passions, expanding on those passions that you feel. Like, in comes opportunity, in comes this person with a message. And also maybe this person also adds to that sense of passion too that you have for this thing that you're investing in. Like, it could even be like they kind of like, you know, although I think you do have your own internal fire, maybe this person kind of adds to that fire you have inside of you. That fire that drives you, that you feel that passion for. Maybe something about your creativity, expanding something creatively. So again, it feels like that creatively part feels almost like something that's outside the box, something that you really didn't expect would become an opportunity, but it works somehow. 10 of Cups. You know, that future that you've been dreaming of, that happily ever after, here it comes. I can't make it up. I really can't. These are the cards that came out. And the 10 of Cups came out in an interesting way too, because it like almost seemed like it was going to come out backwards because of the way that it fell, but then it flipped and it turned upright. So Spirit definitely meant it to come out upright for sure. And then the Temperance card. There's something about bringing two things together. Wait a second, this feels significant. And this also goes back to that thing where it's like, you may think it's a mismatch, or like how, like say, let me try and think of an example. Okay, say I do nature documentaries. I'm filming nature documentaries all the time. And then somebody sees what I do for work and they're like, wow, you really have an eye for these types of things. What if you were to direct my movie or something like that? Like, you know, that's probably very unrealistic, but you never know. You never know with life. And that's part of this reading. I was like, the impossible can become possible. But it's like, it's such a, you know, the person that does nature documentaries may be like, you sure you want me to direct your movie? Because this is kind of my thing. Nature documentaries, that's kind of what I do. And so maybe you're like, you know, it kind of doesn't make sense in that way, because it's like, but I do nature documentaries. You want me to work on this movie? I don't really do movies, you know? But it's like, you could like verge or like bring together these two seemingly very different things. You merge them together into one, but it feels like it's bigger than that. I almost even feel like you're bringing the world together. Like, I know this sounds so dramatic, but like, I feel something intense here, especially because it's the Temperance card and that's a major arcana. It feels big. It feels like you're taking two things and you're making them work together in a way that's very harmonious and healing. And it feels like it's not just harmonious and healing, but it's harmonious and healing for the whole world, for everyone. I feel like you could be like literally bringing two things, or maybe two communities even, together that usually clash, you know? It's like you're bringing the world together. You're creating peace and harmony on Earth. There's definitely significant Earth angel vibes I get from your energy. Because it's like you're here with a purpose. You're here to do Spirit's work. You're here to bring the people together, to bring communities together, to bring these opposing sides together. Somehow you do that. Somehow you bring it together. Somehow you make it look so good. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something big here. There's something really big going on that you're going to be doing. And I feel like there's somebody here that sees that potential already in you, but it's like, maybe you're just at the baby stages of doing something big like that. And they're like, let's expand on this. Let's make it a bigger thing. Let's do this for the whole world to see. And it's going to bring you that 10 of Cups, which is your happily ever after. And I feel like whatever you're going to be doing, this is the kind of work that you've always wanted to do. This is the kind of work that makes you feel good about what you do. You know, it's definitely not going to give you that icky feeling of having to compromise on your morals. I think your morals are actually part of the reason why this blessing is coming in the first place. Because again, like I said with that Queen of Pentacles earlier, you have this certain type of energy that's not going to abuse your power. You have this certain kind of energy that thinks about more than just yourself. You think about the world at large. You think about the collective. Not me getting emotional. Because it's literally so beautiful. Like, you're going to bring like peace on earth or something. Like, very beautiful, very significant, very drastic almost, but in the best way possible. And then we have the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which I find very bizarre. To an extent, I feel like there could be haters around you, or people that are skeptical of like your potential maybe, or they may think that you have some sort of hidden agenda with what you're doing. You know, they could kind of be speaking badly about like, did you hear the collective got this opportunity? I bet they're just so greedy. They're not going to do anything good with that. The collective got this new business opportunity and I bet it's going to go straight to their head. You know, it feels very like slimy and like insecure. There's something insecure with that Five of Swords, I feel. And it feels kind of like this could be people kind of gossiping about you, but trying to like twist everything into a negative way. But the thing is, it's so funny because throughout this whole reading, positive energy all the way through. And so it makes me feel like it's going to be apparent to not only you and everyone else, but to this person too, that you're doing great things. And so it's like this person can't stand the idea of you having success or that you're doing something good, and they just have to badmouth you to make themselves feel better, which is honestly really sad. But it's like, especially because it's the Five of Swords, it's not like a major arcana or anything, so it's like, I don't think this is really going to impact you. It's not going to shift you off of your path. You know, you're going to keep going into your success. And this person's probably just going to be, you know, oh no, I just got like a specific storyline in my brain. So that reoccurring message about like leaving your hometown, I wonder if there's somebody from your hometown that maybe you knew growing up, and they're very bitter about not being given the same opportunities that you've been given. They may be jealous of those opportunities, blessings that you're receiving and whatnot. And so maybe to make themselves feel better, they're kind of just going around your hometown trying to talk smack about you. But meanwhile, you're like in the media doing great things, you know, creating world peace. And so it's like that juxtaposition is very drastic, I feel. And it's going to be very obvious that this is just somebody that's kind of sad. I hate to say that, but that's what I'm getting. It's like this person just wants to find any way to make themselves feel better than you, even if it's not at all true, and it feels like they're kind of grasping at straws to an extent. And I don't really think anybody's really listening to this person. It's actually kind of funny in this image here because the two people in the background are facing away from this guy, whereas this guy has like a smirk on his face like, yeah, the collective ain't fooling anyone. They're greedy, they're selfish, and it's only a matter of time before it shows. And it's like everybody's like not even listening. They're just like doing their own thing, like walking away like, oh, sorry, you were speaking. Because it's so obvious that this is just somebody that's very bitter and sad. They have to put other people down to feel better about themselves. They have to attack you in some way so that they feel a sense of power and importance maybe in their own life. It honestly is very sad, and I do feel bad for that person. But I mean, it's not like they're just like, they're kind of doing that to themselves, you know, especially when they're like talking something like that, you know, talking in that sort of way about you. Because like the thing about, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but the people that talk the most crap about other people do not have very fulfilling lives. They're not very fulfilled people. And so I almost think to an extent, and I've heard this before, that when we talk about other people, typically the people that we're talking to about other people, whatever we're saying about other people is usually how the person we're talking to sees us. So if I'm saying, oh, the collective is just so selfish and greedy, the person I'm talking to isn't going to be thinking, oh, the collective is so selfish and greedy because this person said so. No, they're going to be looking at that person speaking and being like, I feel like you're selfish and greedy and you're kind of projecting here, you know? And it's sad. Like, it's just like, because it's going to be obvious to everyone that they try to talk to, that they like are around. It's like, this is just a very sad individual who doesn't have a lot going on in their life, who doesn't feel fulfilled. And it's almost like they speak something like that into existence, but it's not that they're speaking it into existence for you. They're speaking that into existence for themselves. And that's why I really don't think that speaking badly about people is really that good. You know, I think it really keeps you in a toxic mindset that keeps you lower vibrational and unable to really move up, move forward, you know? But to each their own, you know, if they choose to do something like that, nobody can really tell them to not. They have to decide that themselves. Anyways, I want to see what's underneath that Five of Swords. The Chariot. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. Because this is actually like really funny because it's like the reason why they are talking smack is because they see you moving forward with your life. You're doing big things, you're making big changes, you're making big actions that this person has never done. Opportunities that this person has never been given. And so it's bitter, it's bitterness. It's like, oh, they think they're so great, I bet. You know, they think they're special, they think they're all this and that. But it's like, It's kind of funny because it's like the people that they're trying to talk to are just like, but they are special, the collective, you know? The collective is special. They do have a purpose here because they're clearly living it, whereas this person's not doing nothing. They're just sitting around trying to think of bad things to say about you. And everybody else is just like, they're definitely going to be so sick and tired of this person, especially if they have to listen to this more than once. You know, they're gonna just be like walking away mid-conversation and this person's just like, and they're just like, oh, you're still talking? Sorry. It's just a very interesting, funny energy. Just lower vibrational, trying to make themselves feel better. And I honestly feel bad for them because they are just so stuck in their ego. Yeah. It just is what it is, really. Because it's like, maybe if they shifted their perspective, maybe if they shifted their mindset, maybe if they started to speak nicely about other people, maybe their life would change too for the better. Maybe they would be given more opportunities. But it's almost like they're too stuck in their own self to ever see it like that, you know? It's sad. But what are you gonna do? So Death card at the bottom of this deck. I think that this is definitely indicating this big shift in who you are, what you're doing. People are going to see, especially people that know you in the past, they're going to see who you are now compared to the past, and it's like maybe two different people almost. Or, you know, it's like a transformation that is really, you can't ignore it. You know, it's just so obvious that you've changed, you've grown up. Something big has transformed here. I want to see what's underneath that death card out of curiosity. 3 of Wands. So it's like, so I sometimes mention that this image of the 3 of Wands to me kind of looks like a portal. Like you're going into this portal and your future is looking bright and colorful. And I almost feel like this transformation that you went through was almost like the key that unlocked the door that leads to this portal. And on the other side is like all of your success. You know, this big purpose that you have. I'm curious. Also, the 3 of Wands can also be that message of like the time is now. So this could be something that's happening very soon for you. Especially like if you just went through this transformation or you have been transformed. Could be coming up sooner than you realize because it feels like the transformation is key to unlocking this opportunity. I'm gonna just see what's underneath that out of curiosity. Ooh, 8 of Wands. We had the 8 of Wands earlier. So get ready for forward progress in your life, in your career, your skill, whatever you've been working on. Also, potentially incoming communication about this new future that you've just unlocked through doing all of that hard work. Beautiful energy. This reading. I did not expect the reading to go this way. Lately, these readings have not been going the way I've been thinking they would go. I don't know exactly what I thought about this reading. I mean, maybe I thought like maybe there would be something romantic popping up, but it's not really like that. It's all about you being freaking awesome. So definitely pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a hug because like, damn, you really got it going on and you are about to come into some big success because of who you are and how you're showing up. Okay, let's bring up the Oracle, see if there's any additional messages from Spirit. Please and thank you, Spirit. Do you have any additional messages for the collective in regards to this beautiful reading for them? Magical occurrences, magical blessings, anything to do with this beautiful reading? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything you'd like to add for the collective? Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, so a couple flipped over. Let's see what they are. Aww. These are cute. So the trout and lily of the valley, this represents purification. The otter and cattail, this represents peace. The lizard and pitcher plant at the bottom of the deck, and that represents stagnation. I'm just gonna say it. This gives similar energy to this Five of Swords energy. I think that while you're glowing up, your life is looking very beautiful, very harmonious. Somebody's in the background with a stagnancy in their own life. And instead of focusing on themselves and being like, okay, how can I improve? Okay, what is in my power to improve this circumstance or situation, what have you? They're just going to be focusing on you and trying to hate on you. And maybe even try to sort of project their own stagnancy onto you, like, you know, giving you the evil eye and what you're doing, giving you the evil eye, and just being like, oh, I hope that they fail, you know? Again, very sad, very unfortunate. But this trout and lily of the valley with the purification, I feel like this is a very strong indication of that transformation. I feel like through this transformation, you have purified yourself in some way. And this isn't to say that you're perfect by any means, because we're all human here, you know? We're all gonna have our off days. We're all gonna, you know, have our blind spots. We're all going to be imperfect because that is the nature of being human. But I think you have really improved yourself. I think you've really stepped up your game. You've stepped up your energy. I feel like it's almost like a magnification of all your good qualities that you've been working on. And that's going to be clear to everyone around you. And then with the otter and cattail representing peace, first off, look at that cute little otter. That's so cute. Adorable card. But, I think you've created a lot of peace within yourself, which is probably the most important, but also maybe in your surroundings. Maybe you've created a very peaceful environment so that you can heal yourself, so that you can transform in the first place. But this also goes back to that message I was getting about you creating world peace. The peace card, like, oh my goodness, like not only you creating peace within yourself, you're creating peace for the collective, for the world. You're doing great things here. So anybody that's hating on you, trying to like gossip about you in a negative way, it's like, it's just so obvious that they're full of crap. Like, it's like, really? You have nothing better to do than to hate on the collective that's trying to do really good things in the world. Really? It's just going to be reflecting badly on them. But yeah, this is the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this. This was probably one of my favorite readings, honestly. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.